listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
We'll try our hands on some like transformation like XML to CSV, CSV to XML. Then we will see how the output file comes up. Let's start with that. You have the RAS, great, all good. Integration flow, fine. Go to the Workday out RAS component. Fair enough. And you can remove the copy. I don't have to delete it. Do a Ctrl Z. Just do a Ctrl plus Z. Now quick tip. For example, you are in your real-time scenarios. In async mediation, you have put in logs, you are printing the variable, printing the properties, and you are looking how the message is flowing. And while moving into production, deploying to production, you don't need the log file because unnecessary. If you keep on printing logs or this kind of copy, the log file can be a massive, huge file. That will impact on the performance of the integration. What you can do is you can just use the execute step. There's a property called execute when you can utilize that and you can just bypass it. I'll show you how. Click on the copy step. Click on that. If you go to the advanced tab, advanced, you can see that there is a second option is execute when. In the execute when, this is this here. You can just put in a mvel function or mvel statement using which you can control whether this particular step will execute or not. Maybe in real-time scenario, a particular block or a particular async mediation altogether, or maybe a report call. You want to call the report or call a web service based on a certain condition. Let's say you are pulling our data from Workday. We're pulling a REST component, right? You're consuming the report. It has worker data. You take active workers and terminated workers, both. And let's say for active workers, you have to call a web service, but you don't want to do that for terminated workers. In that case, you can add a condition. Use a condition here that you don't for the particular assembly component where you are calling. You can mention it that if active status not equals to 1 or employee is not active, then don't execute it. For now, what we can do, you can just write 1 equals to 2. 1 equals 1, number numeric. 1 equals to another equals to 2. Just say. Now, as you put this, you see there is a question mark that came up on the copy icon, right? This question mark means that this particular step has a condition in the execute when step. Why I did 1 equals to 2. I don't want it to be executed. 1 equals to means that 1 equals to 2. Right. It will never be true, right? When you are creating log files, and let's say we're trying to deploy to production. And let's say you have added log files for debugging purpose, right? Will you delete all the log files and deploy to production? What if 6 months down the line you have to make some changes or there is some issue of to debug the integration again? Will you add all the log files? What you will do is keep the log file as it is before deploying to production. Just put it 1 equals to 2 for each log file for each execute. When step in the log file, that way the processing of the integration will bypass the log files. In a studio, you can configure into attribute service in the Workday in component. Then, once you deploy, the design would be, let's say your attribute is like you put a flag. A flag equals to yeah. And for an inside and every attribute, what you can do is you can configure the value specific to production. For example, you specify for production environment, it will be no. For non-production environment, it will be like sandbox or preview. It will be yes. Then you consume that attribute inside your studio and use that flag value. And in that log file in execute, when you can mention that if it is a yes, if it is coming through as yes, then execute it. Otherwise, we will talk about like I will show you how you can consume launch parameters, how you can consume attribute, and there you will understand how we can consume or assign the attribute value to a property inside EMBL, inside Studio. Thank you. Let's do one thing. What we'll do is we will convert or transform the same thing to a CSV. How we'll do, we'll add a CSV to sorry XML to CSV component. If you go to the palette and just write XML to just drag XML to CSV and drop it after the copy step. Here, if you open the XML to CSV, like click on the XML to CSV, click on that. Go to the comment tab. What you can do is in the right header line, just put true. Right header line. Second last field. Put true. Save it. What it will do is it will basically take the XML tags that is there for each field and it will generate a header for the output. If you didn't set it as true, this particular parameter, then you will only get the output. You will not get a header. After that, can you add a store step? Just click on that, it will come up. In the store step, just put a title, something. Put something with extension .csv. And the rest of the folks just follow. File.csv and click on document reference true. The last field in the tab, document reference true. What it will do is when you select the document reference true, it will append or attach the output file in the integration event. Click on save. It's saved. Now deploy it. The rest of the system Async mediation itself a component, the copy XML to CSV. These are all individual steps inside async mediation specific steps. You do not have to wear the steps inside an async mediation. You have to wear the wire or connect the components. Workday out, REST is a component. Async mediation is a component. A local in, local out, Workday in, these are components. Let's run this integration. Let's see how the file is looking. And set. Click on View More. You can click on View More, REST consumption. Integration, the fourth option from the launch. You'll have a scroll down. Click on. You see one output file has been generated. Click on the Output File tab. Let's open the file download. It will get downloaded. Just open the file. Let's open it in Notepad and see. You see that you have a header. Yes, you have a header. These headers. If you open the report, in the report the column name alias is there, right? XML alias column name, XML alias column in your report. Whatever you specify in the XML alias, that will be considered as the header of this transformation. Now you might say that whatever, if I want a separate install employee underscore ID, I want employee right or employee number. In those cases, you have to do a like accessibility transformation, which we will see how it is done in a later phase. Fun! Now for simple straightforward drag and pull and export, you can use this like from XML to CSV. This is the best way to go with. You don't need to add any accessibility transformation. Workday Studio itself is doing it for you. Here you can see that which we added in the PIM right. As is message summary, the integration has begun or integration started. You can see that message in the Messages tab as well. Next learning, we will work on XML. If you open the Studio and put a CSV to XML component after, add a CSV to FL component after the XML to CSV. I would just want you to understand how to move from XML to CSV and vice versa. Now in the mediation context, the message is flowing as you have converted from XML to CSV. Now we are reverting back. Click on that and go to the Properties tab. Yes. Now when you move from XN to CSSV, you are generating the output CSV file with a header. Right. That means when you are converting back to XML, that is CSV to XML, you have to cut out or strip off the header raw. What you can do is if you scroll down, as you can see here, there's an option called Use First Line as Header. This means you are telling the Studio assembly that whatever CSV is flowing, just use that first line as a header. Ignore that. You can mark it as true. Save it, run it. And wait, but before that, in the store step, go to the store step because now the output will be in XML. Let's change the extension of the file name to XML. And if you want Workday to store your output file for maybe, let's say, 10 days or 90 days. P1010, the number 10. No, number 10. 10000. Just save it, run it, save it, deploy it, and run it. Wait back, go back. You forgot most important. Otherwise, if you deploy, also no change will because your entire source code is in your CLR file. Unless and until you deploy the CLR file, it will not make any change in your target tenant. Just go back to the tenant and let's just need to relaunch it. Go to Integration Event Relaunch. Click on. Will be down below. Let's see how it looks. Just open. As you can see here, your first row in your CSV output the employee ID, the active whatever, that is not there. You can only see the XML. Root is your root node and row is your individual row. Like in a report, if you run the report, each row that you get for each employee, each worker, you are getting it in this XML in this format. Let's say if we want to put a copy step. Do one thing, drag the copy step and place it before the store. Remove the execute condition from there. Remove it. Now go to the comment tab. You are storing the output as a variable called RAS response. If in this condition, if you save it, deploy it, run it. Will the output file generate any data? I think no, because it will be stored on the variable. What needs to be done for the output file for the store step to actually work and generate an output? Cause the variable that it is exactly perfect. Click on the store. In the input, just make it variable. And put the exact variable name that you are using to copy to put it in the copy step. Just copy paste it because it's case sensitive. Just if, even if there is a difference in case it will not. Perfect. You can save it and run it. Save it and run it later. Or try it. I need to deploy it right. Deploy it. Let it be. Let's not try it because it's just for your understanding. Whenever you are copying and you are pulling from a copy, always use the variable. This is how you play with the variable inside the store step. Now we have learned how to create a custom report, custom advanced report, how to create report service, how to consume the reports, how to use the report service using a Workday OutRest component, how to consume that into our studio. Transform the data from XML to CSV, CSV to XML, how to use store step, and how to send integration messages to the integration event. Now we know how to generate a file, right? Let's go to the tenant. Now in this output file tab, you can see the date time created, the file name, the type, the created by and expiration date. But there is a concept in Workday called a document tag. You can create custom tags. You can use the delivered tags. In order to send a file to a third-party vendor, let's say using SFTP, you need to ensure that the file is tagged as deliverable. Now, what does that mean? Let's say your integration is generating 4 files. One may be the actual output file that needs to be sent, or you are generating a log file showing just a count. How many rows got generated? Right. Let's say all worker data. In our case, we are working with worker data, all worker data. You are creating a log file that will, read to the data and put it. Take a count. How many are active? How many are returned? How many are terminated? And you are generating a log file for your internal support team or for some other internal team that they have an idea of what are the counts that are going out. But you don't want to deliver the file to your third party vendor. You only want to send the actual data file. In that case, what you have to do is you have to tag it as deliverable. How we do it? Let's get back to the studio. After the store step, add a put integration message. Add a pip AMMF. After the store. After this, and wait, in the PI men, the by default severity and summary is selected. Scroll down. Select the search for the parameter. Is document deliverable? Go. You can see is document deliverable. It was there. Or is document. Just click the checkbox and add is document variable name. The variable name. Well, you can ignore it for our current purpose. We can only use the is document deliverable. Just finish it. Click on finish. We'll remove it from there. Go to the properties tab. No, you are wrong. Go to the parameters. Yes, parameters. Variable name you just removed because we are not using variables here. Variable name is used when you are using this to here. The store output is actually delivering it as a message. Right. If you click on the store, just go to the store step. I'll show you. Now the output is message. If you select the output as variable, then in the put integration message you have to use that is document variable name parameter, and you have to pass that parameter. Similar to what we did for copy store. Let be. Let's go back to the PIM. Is document deliverable? Let's open that. Is document deliverable is true. Summary. Go to the summary. Add some summary like this is my output or something, whatever you feel like. Within quotas. And severity is by default info. Just connect it. Connect, save, deploy, run. You will remove the document variable name. You can remove it. Deploy. Let's run it once again. Go to the Output Files tab. Interesting. Just a second. We have another message over there. This is the output. Integration has started. I will just give me a second. What was the error? Attempt to get data from variable. My RAS response. Let's see your studio. Can you click on the copy? Go to the Comment tab. My var right and go to the store. The variable name doesn't match. You have to match the variable name. The studio is actually giving you an error. Now you can run the file. I think. Can you just go back to your studio before running it? Just a second. Can you go to the studio? I think I missed a step. I think the deployment was you were deploying all the things again. You need to just do it. Just what's that? Can I go to the Can I go to the store step once again? Just want to make sure something. Deployed, and I think it should be fine. I just checked if the create document references it as true. Alright, I already deployed it. Let me run it. Just stick around it. I'm going to make it successful. Your condition after remove the condition because the copy is not actually firing in this case. It's skipping the copy step. You are getting in your copy step. You have selected RAS output as the variable in your stores. The input is RAS output, but your copy is not executing because you have put a condition logic. Go to Advanced tab. What happens is the copy is not executing. My RAS response variable is not holding the data. And in your store step, you're calling it. That's why. That was the only thing. Alright, thank you. Just try, go ahead and redeploy. And next, just this one. Got. And we go back here. This already finished. It's not anything anymore. Launch. Got another error. Let's see. Local link transport p declares property name which is required. You have missed this message summary. Let's go to the studio. This we open the theme. I mean the properties of the theme. Go to the properties. Well, now the meters parameter. Yes, parameters. Go to the summary is message summary. The second one. Just put a text here. This is. Hold on. That's there. That's fine. The second one. Second one is yes. No, it's just done. And here I should add just any message, right? I can see that your document variable name is there. Let's use the variable name. Go to the store step. Let the other team members also see how this can be done. Go to the comment tab. In the output, select the output and make it variable. Guys, this is how, if you are using a variable in the store output, this is how you consume it outside. Just give a name to the variable. Perfect. Copy. And go to the PM. Go to the PM. And go to the parameters. Go to the variable document, variable name, and just add your variable there. The name that you copied within inside single quote. Got. There we go. Save it. Deploy. Run it. Got. Deployed. To. Let's go to the tenant. Alright. Completed with hours. Go to the output file. Perfect. Now I will demonstrate let's do one thing. As I was talking about. Now the output file we have set the flag as his deliverable is true. Now the file is ready to be transported to a third party as FTP. But for that we have to do we have to configure the steps. Right? How do we do that? Open the integration system. That's the process. That's the event. The process. The hyperlink below. This is the integration system. Click on that. This is your integration system. You can see the cloud collection project. That is a cloud. You have the report service and everything, right? If you click on the three dots, this is how you create a delivery. Set up a delivery. Go to the integration. Go to the business process. The third option. Click on create. Click on that. And here effective date is, you have to put the effective time zone, whatever it will default, and just click on. Let it be. Just click on. Just like you basically what you have here. What you're doing is you're creating a business process for your integration. Inside the business process, you will add a step using that step. You will you will configure the delivery. Add a step. The order will be put at C. It has to be at the next order, higher order. And you click go to type. Go to the drop down in the type. And go to service. Service for the service and specify. Click on that. There is a document delivery date on top. The second option, just click on save. Now what is the error? See that error? The first step through here is document delivery event service but has not been configured. It is related to the task to configure service. That means we have configured the step but we have not configured the delivery. Document delivery. Click on that. It will ask you for an effective date. It will get defaulted. Click on. Now documents. Right click on from the integration process, the first radio button. Scroll down. This means that we are selecting the integration to try to deliver the file. If there is an error, it will try 3 times. If you see the transport type, these are the different options through which Workday, you can send out a file. And this is as if any one of you have knowledge in EIB integration. This is the same thing. If you are setting up a document delivery step in EIB or a cloud connector or studio, it's the same thing. There's nothing else. If you click on STP, we do not have a particular SFTP server configured for the training purposes, but we can use a generic, publicly available one. We can't actually test it, but I will show you how we can see. Show you from my client tenant. I just pinged in the chat. You can in the SFTP address, just type TP. Alright, hold on. I cannot copy from the chat. I'm telling you SFTP. STP : I mean, the keyboard here is different. Oh, I need to. forward slash. You said colon, then forward slash. Colon, then forward slash. Let me just find that here. The keyboard is different and I'm struggling. I'm going to do it for in any case, we find not copy pasted. Here I'm opening the integration system. This is the option. What a business process this. I have already created it. As you can see, once I create it looks like this. We have the document delivery configured, and inside the document delivery, if you go and click on here, basically you have to key in your SFTP credential. From where will you get the SFTP details? From the vendor system. If you have a real-time integration in the real world, you ask the vendor that, hey, I need the SFTP address, SFTP endpoint. I need the directory. If you want me to place it in any subdirectory, you have to give me the path and then you have to give me the username password. Right. Or if they are doing SSH authentication or dual authentication. For this class, let's focus on the username and password. They will provide you the username and password. They will provide the user ID, the password, and then you click on. Once you do that, then the next thing that and before that, in order to integrate with SFTP to any third party, the target system need to whitelist your IP. When I say your IP means your Workday IP. If the third party system as that, hey, what is your, give me your IP address. You have to go to reach out to Workday or go to Workday community and see what is the data center. Is it you want me to do D5, right? Based on that data center, you will have a kind of IP range or something. IP. The file looks like either production or non-production. When it is customer firewall perspective means it's inbound. Inbound means not inbound to you, inbound to the third party. This column always think from a perspective of your vendor. Outbound means outbound to your vendor. That means data coming from vendor to your system. Inbound means data going from your systems to vendor. Vendor's perspective is inbound. Based on your our client's IPS, I think tenant is WD5. We have this. Once that is done, I will not save it. There is a way you can actually, once you configure the SFTP right. As of now, if you remember, whenever you are clicking on integration, you were able to only see the launch/schedule option. Now as you select configure the business process, configure the document delivery. Now you will have a test transport created here. Click on that. It will automatically default to the endpoint. Click. You will see multiple options. If it's a connect means just like pinging the server, right? If I click here, you see the connection to the endpoint success. That means your SFP connection is working fine. You're pinging. You are able to ping your target server successfully. And then let's say you want to list. The list file option means you want to see if in the target SFTP server, if no, there is any particular file exist or not. How you can check? Let's give a name, connector. Let's click on. Connector not there. I think there would be. Quotient. This way, Currently in the target system, there is no such file with the name I'm trying to find. But if this is working, if you are not getting any error in listing the files or delivering the files, let's say you want to test the delivery right. You click on the deliver files and use default test file. It will generate a small, I think 10 KB of default file. And if you click on a 10 KB file was sent to the endpoint successfully. You can see that. In this way, when you configure the SFTP, you can do a quick round of tests before sending the actual files. Just first you do the connect and miss pinging the server. If that is working fine, then you just deliver a test file to see if the file is getting written in the target system or not. That is how we configure FTP, how we send a file output to target system. Great. That concludes your Studio beginner course. If you take a go to Workday and tell them that, hey, I want to get certified in Workday Studio, they will teach you that there are two courses, Beginner Studio, Advanced Studio. Whatever we have studied till now, though all of them come under the overview of beginner course. Now, with this knowledge, with some practice, if you sit in a Workday Pro certification exam, then I think you would be able to at least clear the exam. It won't be an issue. Just to recap whatever we studied, we talked about what is a studio. Why do we need? What benefits does it provide? What benefits like when to use Studio, when not to use Studio? Then we talked about basics, creating a simple integration right where how to use swim lane, how to use transport components, how to use async mediations, how to use web services, how to call web services, how to configure web services, edit web services. Then we have studied how we can use local, how we can connect local in with local out. We learned about how to create a custom report, how to create report service, how to consume the report inside your studio, how to use transformation, how to use copy, how to store, and finally, the storing and delivering. That is basics, but we will learn more. We'll get into advanced topics. Can you see the PPT? We talked about storing and delivering output. Store step, we spoke about it. Same, I have put some notes in it. And again, don't think about the theory and all these theories. You will theory notes and everything. You will always get inside the studio. If you open the click on the component, there is a small help button. See here just in case if you forget. This is the async mediation. If I click here, it will open a window with all the theory in it. Can anytime go and read through it. The most important thing is doing hands-on. We talked about using store and FTP. We did work on the steps. What needs to be done? And now we will understand how we can split a data. When I say split, that means, let's say, this example. Let's take this. This is the root and this is individual row. Let's say you want to know as of now, we were consuming the report data as a whole. 25, 30, 100, 500 rows all coming in. We are generating an output file, a total single file. What if there is a business case where you have to split it row by row and based on individual row, you have to do certain processing? Let's take a scenario where you have a report based on the report output. For each report, output for each row, for example, that's for John Shen. You need to call a web service, call up, get workers right. Or call a different web service. Let's say enter time off right. You know absence. You want to get time off, request right. You want to get the time off details of the worker or some other performance detail, talent compensation details. And for that you have to use Workday Web Services. Remember we studied web services. Anyone does it ring a bell? Which reports of service? No, that is our REST. Report as a service is a REST called SOAP service, where we went into the Schema Explorer, clicked here, add latest Workday Web Services, open the Web Service Human Resource 4.2. I'll show you, I think. Remember this. We added a write step where we added the employee ID here. Remember. There is an integration service, not integration service. It's Workday outside. Workday outside. This particular component actually enables you to call a Workday web service like get workers. For this case, that's the one, right? We remember you saved the output XML like the response. You saved it in your local. Remember, what I was trying to come up is if there is a scenario where you have to run a report, take the output of the report, consume it in the studio, and for each row of the report, you take the employee ID and you call a get workers web service or any web service for that matter. In those business case or in those integration scenario, you need to use split. You need to use a component called splitter. What splitter does is splitter is basically nothing, but it splits your XM data. For example, let me show you this. For splitters, there is a splitter. Every splitter, if I add, I get here. Every splitter has a strategy. That means on what logic the splitter will split the incoming data. There are multiple strategies, as you can see here, like you can create a custom splitter, custom logic. You can create a standard splitter, XPath splitter, XML, stream splitter, JSON splitter, and on and forth. Again, all of these, what these do, all of that is available in the help documents or Workday community, Workday documentation everywhere. The most commonly used splitter strategy is XML stream splitter. As you can see, this XML stream splitter, it basically does nothing but takes the input as an XML and based on the XPath that you have provided here, it will split the data into individual rows. For example, in this case, and the splitter gets this entire XML right. What it will do is it will look at report data. Report data is the root. I have mentioned the XPath as report data / report entry. That means report data is my root. Fair enough. Report entry is my child, I will. It will split based on each report entry. Here it is reported it can. It could have been something like root and alright. It's the same. That means it will split. The splitter will split it. It will spit out this row first. That means here the first row gets splitted. You take it. Like for example, this employee ID. From the splitter you have subroute. Subroute is nothing. But after splitting, what do you want to do with me? It's nothing other than that. Once I split subroute is routing to this async mediation. This is nothing but an async mediation. Inside the async mediation I am accessing, assigning variables, properties, logging errors, whatever. Whatever you want to do. For the use case that I said that you can, you are splitting it and based on each row, you are calling the web service. That means once this splitting is done, we have this row. You are taking this employee, ID copying it and doing a REST call. Sorry, doing a SOAP call similar to what we did on our example here. We'll do a write, pass the employee here dynamically, and then call the Workday out SOAP. And then do the processing, whatever you want to do. In a nutshell, the bottom line is the work of a splitter is to take the huge or big chunk of XML data, split it by each row based on the expert that you provide, and move it along. And in this flow of the process, it's like a for loop. If guys who are from programming background, the flow of the integration comes still here and count as a splitter. Splitting starts the first row. It will flow through the entire assembly, whatever however you want. Once the entire processing is completed till here, success error, then it will again come back. The control will come back to the here. First row gets executed, then second row will be picked up like that. Basically, splitter does nothing but a row by row processing. And the splitter automatically takes the length of the XML elements. Not automatically. We have to once the splitting is done, we have to use this eval component where we will store the output inside properties. It's like assigning data to the variables and we'll use the properties later, which entire process, the entire flow that I explained. We will do it hands-on. I just wanted to set the context, give you the theory of it. It's just nothing but row by row processing of the entire XML file. Got it? Who did the setup? Did anyone did the business process setup? In your systems, in your tenant. For the delivery FTP delivery, I think no one. Because we will continue with the same integration that once we understand everything, we'll have a good picture of how each and every component come together to build the entire integration. Because if we would have configured the SFTP, then the processing would have stopped there. Right? It's like delivering the file. We don't want to do that. We want to continue with the flow Let's do one thing. This copy, remove that put integration message. Just remove it or delete it or put it aside. Don't delete it. Let it be. You can refer to it later. Do a Control Z. Just drag it. Keep it aside. Just on top. Put it on top and delete that arrow. Delete the arrow right. Delete the arrow. That connectivity is gone now. Delete it. Just keep it somewhere else for your reference. And just enable, like ensure that the copy and the store steps are all bypassed. How you do that? The copy. Copy the copy. Copy. That's not a pass. Or another way is we all try the XML to CSV, CSV to XML. You all have learned it. We know, right? We don't need this asymptomatic mutation at all. What you can do is go to the asymptomatic mediation, go to the advanced tab or, common tab. Go to the first one. Click on that. Here, put in the execute steps when put 1 equals to 2. Not only on the step, you can put a condition on the entire whole asymptomatic mutation also, right? That means this asymptomatic mediation will not be fired. It will not be, it will be bypassed. Now we will consume the data from the Workday out REST component directly. I mean, it's just for demonstration. You can remove the copies too because we don't need XML to CSV, CSV to XML. Now we have moved past that, right? We'll be working on this. You won't need it in real-time integration scenario, right? If you're using an asymptomatic mediation, definitely there is for a reason, right? Mostly if in an asymptomatic mediation, you are using a log file for debugging purpose, which you can ignore, right? Bypass it. But for now, for your understanding, I'm doing this. What else you can do? You can create a separate integration system altogether from the beginning. Right. I don't want to do that. I don't. I want to continue with the same integration flow. Alright. Can you just shift the swim lane upwards? Click on the swim lane. Just drag it. Let it look a bit clean. Now add another swim lane. Just write swim. Just expand it. Keep it there. You can just put the name as splitter. Something called this type splits better, whatever. And now you search for splitter component in the palette. Drag it and keep it there. And the strategy, if you click on the strategy, click on the XML that. Again go over on the strategy. No, over on the strategy. On top, you see the options coming up, popping up. Select the XML, the next one, the next. No, the next one, this one. Click on that. What was the first is the one. Wow. Got it. This XML is actually needs a XPath, right? Your Workday out REST component is actually generating the output as a ABB report. Data report entry. Right. You have to write the XPath of it. Right. Data agree. Colon. Report underscore entry. R capital E capital. Now click on save. It will throw you an error because you need to add the sub route as well. Add an async mediation after the splitter. And inside that put a log file. Put a log. And click on the log. Go to the properties. Go to the message builder. Message builder, add a text. Add a text. On the second option on the top. Second option on the top. Create text, push it up, push it before the message content, and add it in the right hand side. The white box. Just put something big in, or whatever. Hit a couple of enters. Hit a couple of enters. And add another text. Another text. Click on save. And on the right hand side, hit a couple of enters. Then type in. I don't need to use a single quote. Now its text is freeform text, nothing else. Now connect the subroute to the async mediation. If you click on this, just save it. If you hover on the sub, now drag it and now connect the async mediation on top to the splitter. The async mediation on top of the one in the report call section. The one in the report, call this one. Just go on top. Drag it. Splitter to the splitter to the splitter. Save. What we are doing, just save it. This subroute red dot that was coming up, it went away. If you have observed it, save it. What we are doing is from worked out REST component, we are going to the async mediation. But the async mediation, we are bypassing it from async mediation. We are connecting to splitter from splitter. We are connecting to the log file. Now deploy the deploy it. Run the integration. It's not completed yet. Just wait. Click on refresh. Got completed. Go to the retrieve log files. Let's check the log how it is, whether it is actually getting splitted or not. Open the server log, the third one. Third one. Click on that. Open. Now maximize it. Now you can see the begin there. Now the entire XML, I think it has around 25-30 odd rows. Right? You can see right. If you can give me control, I'm requesting remote control. Everyone, can you just pay attention here? He added a log file with begin and end. You can see the begin starts from here till here. This is one row. We can see that employee ID 223. First name is Jack. Second name is Taylor. Status is 1. Right. Same second row. Another and 22228. Then Johnson status. Likewise, you see all the individual rows of the big X L has been splitted into one row at a time. And basically what it is doing is, what it does is this, worked out this component as I explained. Understand, this is very important. This was churning out around 25-30 rows of data. It came to the splitter. The splitter splitted individual rows based on this XPath report, data report entry, and then you are logging it. This log file is generating one row at a time. That means this loop is like a for loop. For each row in the XML file, it is writing into the log file one by one. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@upptalk.com.